Called the BuyBoard. We are a national purchasing cooperative. Has anyone not heard of the BuyBoard? Okay, great. Well, you're in for a treat. Who here knows of the BuyBoard and has used the BuyBoard? Great. Has it been very helpful to you? Absolutely. Okay, great. So we're going to talk about what the BuyBoard is, what we do, and let me just shut my phone down. So I understand that I'm standing between you guys and lunch, so I am going to be as smooth and as quick as possible, but thorough and as informative as I can be, okay? For those of you who do not know who the BuyBoard is or what we do, we're a national purchasing cooperative. We basically were born in 2010, and as a result of the Texas Association of School Boards creating the BuyBoard back in 1989. So we have a good number of years under our belt. It's an excellent program. Texas is ruled by the BuyBoard, right? So all the school districts, the municipalities, they love the BuyBoard because of the ease of procurement, the benefits that they get from it, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So it started in Texas back in 98, and it did so well that they decided to go nationwide, and thus the BuyBoard was born in 2010. Okay. So the BuyBoard was created to support and serve public schools, principally public school districts. And then it kind of grew and expanded to municipalities, counties, state, and local government. So the point is to make purchase through the BuyBoard real easy, right? We streamlined the procurement process for you guys. At the same time, giving you guys discounts. Well, the vendors give you discounts. We actually don't have anything to do with anything being sold. What we do is basically we get the contracts, we bid the contracts, we create the contracts, we approve the contracts, and the rest is up to you folks. Over 25 years, as I mentioned before, we've gained access to a wide range of vendors. We have thousands of vendors in our database for you folks to choose from. We're a public agency that helps provide funding to enhance North Carolina, sorry. Should be Rhode Island education. A little typo there. Basically, what we do is we help. And the good thing is that Rhode Island is a sponsoring state. We have a few sponsoring states, and what that means is that in conjunction with the BuyBoard, whatever the BuyBoard makes, the revenues at the end of the year, a percentage of that goes back to Rhode Island, okay, to the school district, all right, so that they can do whatever they want with that money. So that's free money. So the more you use the BuyBoard, the more money you guys get back, all right? Virginia is doing, gangbusters on this. They're doing really well. They're using the BuyBoard left and right, and they're getting a big chunk of cash back at the end of the year. So you folks can definitely help out your school districts by using the BuyBoard. Again, the BuyBoard is no cost to you folks. It's no obligation. It's a lifetime membership, and it's there for you folks to use. So the idea is that the cooperative uses a local contract, local government contract, and a lot of state agencies get together and they use this contract to piggyback off each other. And basically the idea is that with the multitudes, there's power in purchasing, right? You can get bigger discounts because there's more people in the process. The benefits of being a member, well, you're in compliance with your state local procurement laws. You make school district purchasing more efficient. What's the process right now if you have to purchase something and you're not using a cooperative? You have to go through a few hoops, right, to get whatever you're needing, whether it's anything from school supplies to sports equipment to instruments, right? I'm sure there's a protocol you folks have to go through. And then there's, kind of vetting and all that. With the BuyBoard, the contracts have already been negotiated, they've been awarded, everything is done for you. All you have to do is basically get online, go shopping, and you're done, right? It's a little bit more involved than that, but I'll go over that in a minute. The online request process, the RFQ, is real easy. And of course, procurement staff will, not have to go through all the hoops that you guys have to jump through all the time.
So my question is, I'm Joanne from Pawtucket. We do a lot of our purchasing, and even when we go out for large RFPs, we always try to get someone from if not Pawtucket, from Rhode Island, or as close to our area so we can support our local community. Where do you purchase from?
Where do we purchase from? We don't purchase, you folks purchase. All right, so you purchase,
Let me
Yeah.
explain for a second. There are a number of Rhode Island companies and corporations that are already registered with BuyBoard. So if you have some that are not on the BuyBoard list, you can ask that they be registered with BuyBoard. BuyBoard is pretty generous about that. So if you've got a particular local concern that you want to make sure that you continue to do business with, you can register that company or corporation with BuyBoard. And there are a lot of current Rhode Island companies and corporations that are already part of the BuyBoard platform.
thank you, Tim. Does that answer your question okay? And yeah, Tim, that was great. I'd like to take you on the road with me, so making my job easier. So basically, in a nutshell, we have a lot of local vendors, right? If you want to kind of stay with Rhode Island vendors, there's a whole list of vendors. You can actually get online on the database and you can look up your state and your local vendors if you want to use any of those vendors. The beauty of the BuyBoard is that you have a choice to use whoever you want, right? You go in there, you see who's in there. Okay, I like X, Y, and Z corporation. I'm going to go and use them. Or if there's a vendor that you do know but is not part of the BuyBoard, you can encourage them to apply to the BuyBoard to be an authorized vendor. Now, there is a vetting process, but again, it's not that arduous. If they're a legit, good, vendor, we should get them approved in no time, and you can be able to use them, okay? Now, the way the process goes is that you're going to shop for something. Give me an idea of something you shop for. Cleaning supplies. So you go on and you have two ways of shopping. I'm going to show you really quickly, but again, just to get through this is, you'll go online, you log in, and you can either search. If you know what supplies you want, you can search on the global search, or you can actually search by vendor, you can search by product, or you can search by contract number. Right? If you search by contract number, the vendors that have that contract will show up, and you have your pick and choose. You can solicit one or two or three of them if you want. The pricing is going to be pretty much the same across the board for them, because that's already been bid and negotiated, but vendors do offer discounts. And you'll be able to see what they offer as well. And then the whole thing with the BuyBoard is transparent. You can see their contract, signed contract, their deal. You can see what their discount amount is, and it's going to vary. Some folks will give you a 10% discount. Some folks will give you an 8% discount. There's one vendor out there offering a 40% discount on the product that they're selling. So that's going to be up to you to kind of look and see. When in doubt, the beauty of the BuyBoard is that you have, folks like me, there's reps throughout the country that's available for you guys to say, hey, look, I can't find this. Can you help me out? And we'll be more than happy to help find whatever you need. Okay, now the contract is basically between you and the vendor. We have nothing to do with that. We don't, transfer money or anything like that. It's basically you folks doing the purchasing. I can't see your thing, folks. Can you guys see this okay? Yeah. All right, so basically, it's you go on the website, you're going to get an ID, right? The ID is usually your email, right? And then you're going to get a generic password you're going to log in and ask for. You can say, forgot password, you're going to make your own password. And then you're going to get access to the website. And what I was talking before, how to search and find a vendor, you can actually go into global search if you know who the vendor is, right? That's all the way up here on the... You guys don't have a pointer, do you? No? All right. So, so that's one easy way. Another one, you can go down, search for vendors. You can search via contracts or product, as I mentioned, and they'll show up. How to find a vendor, a contract, and a product. The same situation. You're basically going to go in there. If you know, it's real self-explanatory. It's real easy. In the search bar, you go down and you're going to put either the product, you're going to put either the vendor name, or you're going to put the contract number, if you know the contract number. And so you folks know in the folders that I gave you, there's a handout that's 11 pages long. Those are each and every one of our contracts in detail, okay? So if ever you have a doubt, you go back to that and you get online, you say, okay, I'm going to need cleaning supplies, which is a contract for cleaning supplies. And you look for number, I'm just going to make up a number, 7825, right? So that's the number of the contract. And you just punch in that number and it'll come up. So right here, you're going to see the the current vendor report. You're going to go, if you want to see all the vendors in your state, you go to the tab that says report, right here in yellow. You click on that, and you're going to scroll down to my current vendor export. And you're going to click download, and you're going to get an Excel file of all those vendors, and then you can choose who do you use. Everybody okay with that? All right, so use of the BuyBoard. Select an awarded BuyBoard vendor. Follow your entity's procurement workflow process, whatever that is, and that's it. You're going to request, a quote from the vendor, then issue them a PO. You email that to info@BuyBoard or to myself, not David, but to me. And then, of course, the reason we ask for a copy of the PO is because we like to keep a copy in case you folks are ever audited. We have all that information, and there's never a problem for you guys. You can't join trial basis. Basically, in order for you to join, your organization has to sign the interlocal agreement.
Right, I know, that's what I'm asking. Is there some kind of login, like you just browse around and see what kind of vendors there are?
Maybe you can kind of search a session with me, and I can, virtually do that for you. The reason we don't do that is because, especially lately, we've had a lot of kind of, I don't want to say hacking, but there's a lot of no real members calling in, especially around Christmas time trying to get discounts. And so, oh yeah, we're part of the BuyBoard, we're trying to get this and that. So as a result of that, we've kind of changed things a little bit. So in the past, you were able to do that, but there was a lot of people kind of sneaking into the system trying to get discounts on certain things and trying to get bulk orders on certain things. So, but there's a list of I can get you a list of vendors for your state if you want. You could just reach out to me anytime, and I'll get you whatever you want. I mean, I can book a session. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, how long you want, and we can go through it. I'll actually give you control of my database, right? And you can actually go through it and shop and see how you feel about it. Okay? It's real easy. But so I apologize for that. Yeah, it makes sense what you're asking too. So, all right. So. It's legal. It's a legal pathway to purchase. It's very competitive because everything, again, they have been, negotiated. They've been, bid. They've been advertised as well. There's a documented audit trail, especially audit trail, especially if you use that, send in that PO. We're very compliant, procurement compliant, and of course, we follow all strict procurement guidelines. Again, I mentioned it's free to join. It's a lifetime membership. The benefits is, lower costs for you guys, streamlined process for procurement, and of course, the local vendor outreach. As the young lady was asking, you can use your local vendors, whoever's on the list there. How do you become a BuyBoard member? It's very easy. You log in at buyboard.com. How to join? You click on the national BuyBoard, and your login will be sent to you. You're going to get to download the interlocal agreement. You fill that out, sign that, or get your folks to approve that if they need be, and that's it. Very simple, very easy. If you have any questions, you contact me. My name is there. My Christmas card. My business card is there, and yeah, it's real easy. Now, if you guys want, I can show you a little example how it works live. And I'll do that quick. I'll just run to my computer and kind of show you what that looks like. Is that right with that? Is there any cost to be part of the BuyBoard? Is there any cost? No. Absolutely not. It's 100% free. Lifetime membership, 100% free. Costs you nothing. Nothing. You only pay for what you buy, not to us. You pay to the vendor. We don't exchange money whatsoever. We're here to kind of, I like to say, marry you two, the vendor and the user, which is you guys, which is our member. We value our members. Now, there are other cooperatives out there. They exist, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of districts and municipalities that use multiple cooperatives. Is there a law against that? No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, it might be a smart thing because, if you're using, let's just say, I'm going to say Omnia Partners, right? Omnia Partners is another cooperative. They may have things that we don't have, and we may have contracts they don't have, right? Now, I guarantee you we have more contracts than they do, and the difference between us is that they are run by investors, so they have somebody to answer to. We don't. We're a nonprofit. So whatever we make, and just to be transparent, we charge the vendor 2% of whatever the sale is. And that 2% goes back into continuing this program, and a part of that goes back to you folks. So that's how we give back. It's up to the vendor. Now, again, in full transparency, the vendor can roll that 2% into the price, but then you're getting a discount also. And then sometimes the vendor it is what it is, and they'll give us the 2%. And then we give back to you guys. So either way, yes, ma'am.
A lot of the categories that are shown on his sheet have expired contracts now.
How so?
Expired 3/31/25. There's another one that expired in '24. Do you still carry those categories?
Yes, that's a very good point. Please excuse that sheet that I gave out. Disregard the dates. When a contract, usually at the end of the number, you'll see 25. That means that contract was renewed in 25, and then it lives for another 3 years, okay? So that contract that says ends in 25 actually expires in 2028, all right? So that is an older sheet. We review the contracts. When the dates come up, 6 months before the date expires, they're already reaching out to all the vendors to see if they want to continue the process again. We also send out a list of vendors who have been released from the BuyBoard, and those that no longer wish to do business with the BuyBoard. So it's always transparent. You get to see who isn't. You will never find an expired contract on there whatsoever. But very good point, though. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. We all see the board there. This is the login page, and what's going to happen is you folks are going to go, if you use a cooperative, you're just going to log in if you already have access. If you want to join, you will click on how to join, but I want you to go to National Cooperative, because that's what we are, the National Cooperative. Texas is strictly for Texas, for the state of Texas, so we'll go into National Cooperative. And there's no internet. Okay. Bear with us, folks. Slight technicality. We're going to scroll down and tell you who the National Cooperative is, how to join. You go to how to join, becoming a member. There's a little explanation on, what it is, and what I want you folks to do, those of you who are interested, will click on the Interlocal Participation Agreement. And again, all of this instruction is in that handout that I gave or in those folders. You'll click on that, and you'll get to download the the Interlocal Cooperative Agreement. And basically, it's just a contract saying that, you agree to the terms of purchasing through the BuyBoard. And what's going to happen is you will have fill out this information down at the bottom. Okay, this will be signed by our folks as well, our director. And you'll have your name, your title, your mailing address, your city, and state and email, and you submit that to info@buyboard.com, and you will get an email welcoming you to the BuyBoard, and the rest is up to you. You go in and you shop. Now, when we shop the BuyBoard, I'm going to go to my screen. All right, this is my home screen, so disregard this. But let's say I'm on the BuyBoard. I'm one of you folks now, and I'm going to make a purchase. I will go to Shop, and I will go to Products. I can go to Favorites if I have favorites already set up. I can go to Reasons, or you can go straight to Vendors. I'm going to go to Products. Let's just say I'm going to search for, I don't know, let's say AstroTurf. And then you're going to get AstroTurf, and you can start picking from there whatever you like, whatever you see. So let's say I want to pick U.S. Games, or this one. It'll tell you all the details about the product, how much it is. There's the discount, 8%. So it's all very transparent. If you want to see the vendor, you'll click on See the Vendor down here. And this is the vendor, U.S. Games. Here's the vendor's contact info for you to reach out to them, either via email or telephone. Their website. Let me go back to that. Hub certifications, if you want to find out whether it's minority-owned, woman-owned, service-disabled veteran, the information would be here. And there's more info on the vendor, the tax ID, the W-9, if they're a self-reporting vendor. Now, remember when I mentioned that we'd like you folks to send in a copy of the PO? Sometimes there are self-reporting vendors that do that for you. You don't have to do that at all. You just need to know if they're a self-reporting vendor, and then that's not your responsibility anymore. So now, if we want to shop vendors, let's say I'm going to shop for a vendor called, search for a vendor, Superior. Anyone with the name Superior or in the title or anything will come out here, and you can just shop for all those vendors. Now, Superior, I know, is a national recreation product. They sell playgrounds, playground equipment and so on and so forth, and you can find out all about the vendor. You can go into their catalog. Over here on the right, you will have the active contracts. They only have one contract, it's 78125. Now, what did I say about 25? This is the year that it was awarded, and there's 3 years, consecutive years approval, and it will end in 2028, expires 2020. So all the information is there. The accept request for quotes, payments on net 30, everything you need to know is there. And all you have to do is just look at their catalog. This is their catalog. And just shop for whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you're looking for. It's that easy. You send them an email, call them up on the phone. I would like to buy X number of X product. They'll send you a quote. If you agree with the quote, you send them a PO, and it's done. That easy, that simple. The benefit to the contractors is that they're getting business from you guys. You guys are getting discounts from the contractors. You don't have to go through the procurement process. It's lickety-split, it's done, it's good, and you have help because you have us to help you out with things. All right? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Are you feeding your member list over to all of these vendors? Because how else would they know whether or not?
No, we do not do that for a specific reason. We like to protect our members. Because if not, you guys will be inundated with vendors calling you guys all the time trying to sell you stuff. So we like to kind of keep you guys at bay. And if you guys need them, we'll reach out to them and say, hey, this person needs something, can you reach out to them? And we'll do it that way. But for the most part, you guys are doing it yourselves. Just reach out to them and, if ever you have a problem, just reach back out to us and we'll take care of it for you.
We can call Superior tomorrow, tell them part of this and buy something.
Absolutely. You can. They're going to say, okay, what's your BuyBoard membership number and all that. They will absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, just not anybody can just call Superior and say, I'm part of the BuyBoard, because they will see whether you're not, whether you're part of the BuyBoard or not.
That's why I was asking how you get that member information, so the membership number.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a contract number. Also, you will know if a vendor is a BuyBoard approved or the authorized vendor as well. So when you shop, you find the vendor and you just tell them, I'd like to shop for this on the BuyBoard contract, and they'll know right away. Yeah. Now, there are vendors out there who do not know that they're an authorized vendor, right? They may have subs, right? And those subs have no idea. If you mention to them, they'll say, oh, what's that? They'll find out, or they'll reach out to me and we'll get them going. There's a uniform company called Alsco in Virginia, and they just came on to the BuyBoard. Scratch that story. There's a company called USG, and they clean water towers, right? They just got onto the BuyBoard. They just became an approved vendor. One of the reps saw the value in this, just one of them out of the nationwide, and he gave me a call and said, hey, I'd like to talk to my municipalities about cleaning their water towers. Can you go in with me and present to them the BuyBoard? I tell you that this was October. We did about maybe 5 different presentations to each municipality. This was in Virginia. December, he calls me, he says, man, thank you very much. They signed on to the BuyBoard. As a result of me getting them on the BuyBoard, I've filled my quota for the year already in 3 months. In 3 months. So they saw the benefit of it. And the municipalities saw the benefit of it, not because they wanted to get their water towers at a discount, but they saw everything else that they can get. I got one of the municipalities calling me back, can we buy a police vehicle? I need new vehicles for my sheriff. Absolutely. We have police vehicles, everything from ambulances all the way down to wastewater management. A to W. We don't sell zebras, so no Z's. So yeah, folks. Yes, sir.
Is there any district or local government in Rhode Island presently using BuyBoard?
That doesn't use it or the president uses it? Well, absolutely, absolutely. You know what? That's a very good question. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at that. Well, this gentleman in the salmon color shirt up front with the great hairstyle, what's your name? Tony. Tony uses the BuyBoard? Oh, your district does, okay. All right, but Tony's going to use the BuyBoard, right, Tony? All right, what district is that? Providence? Yeah, East Providence, okay, great. So let's look at this. I'm going to go into and let's go to the National Purchasing Cooperative. And you said East Providence? Let's check East Providence. Let's see if Tony's telling the truth. No, I'm just kidding, Tony. I'm just kidding, Tony. East Providence. Do you know what's the name of the entity, full name? East Providence Schools or?
School district, but I could be mistaken. It might not be this particular.
Okay, well, yeah. Let's do a different search. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Is it Chariho or Charico? Carico? Anybody know? Chariho. That's what I said, Chariho. All right, so Chariho. Chariho is a member of the BuyBoard, right? The city is Wood River Junction. They have 29 POs, right? There's 2 out of 3 people active. So when you folks become members, those who would be administrating would come on, and we can see who that is. Kathy Cozio and Kim Sullivan. You folks here today? No. Okay, all right. So basically, your information will go on here, and if you need to add any more people, you give me a call, and I would add whoever needs to use the BuyBoard. All right, so let me just go back to let's see what they did. 29 POs, and we will see the history of their POs. In 25, this is what they purchased. The most recent PO is on the 15th. They purchased $86 of whatever it was, and we can actually see that PO. There it is now. This is a self-reporting vendor. Remember that I said there are some vendors that will send the PO in on themselves? So in this case, what Chariho did was they basically just reached out to the vendor, and the vendor already knew that they're a BuyBoard member, and they sent in the PO, and we have that. And here's all the information. Any questions? So these are all members, and you could see that not many folks are using it. And what we have found out in this case is that when we find something like this, there's 2 active members, Providence, right, Providence City, and they have no POs, there's no activity. Basically what happens is whoever's doing procurement is no longer in that position. There's somebody new, and they have no idea that they have the BuyBoard available to them. So all of these districts or entities have access to the BuyBoard. So if anyone here sees your state, back up? Okay. Anybody want me to click on anybody there? Newport? Let's see, let's find it. Newport Public Schools. There's no users. Nobody signed on as a user, but you have access to are you from Newport? So you have access to the BuyBoard. You just got to reach out to me and say, hey, can you add me as a user? And I will add your name, and you can start shopping tomorrow. So folks, this young lady from Newport doesn't have to sign in or become a member because they are a member already. So if your town is here, you're already a member of the BuyBoard, and all you have to do is request access, and you can use the BuyBoard. So if you guys want, whenever you have a moment in your free time, today, tomorrow, next week, reach out to me and ask me, can you tell me if who's below who? Oh, there it is. Pawtucket. There's look. Wait, there's Pawtucket right there. Oh, there's more? Which one are you looking for? T. QRST. What's the name of the town? Is that your town, Tiverton? All right, so Tiverton has no users, but you have access to the BuyBoard. What's your name? I can put you down. And you have access. So reach out to me, ask me if your town or district has access to the BuyBoard, and we'll get you user access. We'll get you your email with a password, and you guys can go to town and shop for whatever you want, get whatever you want as easy, as fast as possible, and as discounted as possible. Okay? Any last questions? Going once? Going twice? Lunch is on its way. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Part of the problem is that dealing with business managers, we've tried to get them to participate in it much more than they have. And that's been frustrating because we've been involved with this for a long period of time. So there are two things to keep in mind. If you participate, you're not obligated to purchase. You can actually use it as leverage against some of the vendors that you've already been doing business with, but you don't have to purchase it. The other thing is that as a participating member, we get a percentage of a commission on all of the sales. If we can accelerate that, that would mitigate or diversify our revenues coming in. We've held the line on dues for 18 years, and other organizations have increased it annually. So if we can diversify more on this, we also have energy purchasing pool, which I will talk to your business managers and your facilities directors if you haven't participated in that. And that's with NRG, which is a big consortium out of Texas. They named the football stadium after them. The Houston Texans play in. That's another opportunity to share services, save money for local education agencies, at the same time increase the revenue possibilities for us. So I want to thank Ernesto. He came, he took a weekend away from his family in Virginia to come up here and make that presentation. We'll be using him again, but if we hold a meeting involving business managers, we're going to be asking the school committee chairs and the school committee members to make sure that they attend that session so that they're aware of what the possibilities are.